In the news this morning, experts call for urgent economic roadmap to address Nigeria's mono-economy base. More stakeholders demand for quality representation from members of 9th National Assembly and 7th State Assembly. NYSC to employ outstanding corps members who were ad hoc staff in the last general elections. And the foreign scene this morning, U.S. mayor apologizes after police threatened to shoot black family. I'm a Berry Ugonna. The need for concerted efforts to reposition the Nigerian economy has been stressed. The call was the crux of discussions during Professor Peter Ejiofor's second annual Frontier Lecture in Management Sciences and 2019 Faculty of Management Sciences International Conference held at the Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Awka. We have details.
In a lead paper presentation, a former Director General, Debt Management Office, Abuja, Dr. Abraham Wankwo, canvassed for the diversification of the nation's economy from oil-based to other sectors as part of efforts to improve the nation's economy. Dr. Wankwo, an economist with the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, described economic diversification as a process of attaining dependency on several economic activities and products rather than on a few.
Diversification is feasible even in the absence or paucity of natural resources, namely by relying on strategic thinking and positioning and giving prominence to the development and practice of knowledge-based economy.
In another presentation, the Vice Chancellor of the Federal University, Otuoke, Bayelsa State, Professor Seth Akra Jaja, who spoke on economic diversification indices, stressed the need for balancing domestic, foreign trade and payments to achieve economic growth and development.
The Nigerian economic system, especially its diversification, started having fainting symptoms. And these fainting symptoms gave rise to the destruction of the human capital development indicator base.
Declaring the event open, the Vice Chancellor of Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Awka, Professor Charles Esimone, who described the theme of the conference, Managing Nigeria Economic Diversification, Lessons from Other Climes, as apt, regretted the economic challenges facing Nigeria, which he said calls for urgent economic diversification. He commended the Faculty of Management Sciences of the university for organizing such a conference, which he noted will go a long way in strengthening the nation's economy.
It can be safely concluded that the choice of the theme of this conference, Managing Nigeria's Economic Diversification, Lessons from Other Climes, has been informed by the country's unenviable economic predicament, a situation precipitated by vulnerable dependence to the neglect of other resources on the export of crude oil for the country's revenue, with little or no value addition.
Earlier in an address, the Dean Faculty of Management Sciences, Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Awka, Professor Mrs. Chizoba Ueme, called on Nigeria to map out far-reaching measures that will stimulate the growth of the nation's economy. On his part, the former Vice Chancellor of Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Awka, and founder Otusubaku Igbo, Professor Peter Ejiofor, who is the benefactor, while thanking all those that contributed to the success of the event, equally charged Igbo to abstain from acts capable of plunging Igbo language and culture into extinction. Others who spoke at the event were the chairman of the local organizing committee, Professor Patrick Akpan, and Dr. Okechukwu Chiloku, charged the federal government to map out a policy that will make the Naira regain its pride of place in the Committee of Nations.
The member representing Awka South 1 constituency at the State House of Assembly, Dr. Nnamdi Okafor, has offered thanks to God for his goodness in his life. The Thanksgiving Mass, which held at St. Patrick's Cathedral, Awka, attracted members of the House and the State Executive Council. House of Assembly correspondent Chukwemeka Modelim was there and now reports.
It was a moment of joy for Dr. Okafor as he marched to the altar, accompanied by his colleagues and constituents, to offer thanks to the Lord. In a homily, Reverend Father Matthew Atanse, who officiated the Mass, thanked God for the life of Dr. Okafor, who he said has acknowledged God as the giver of success by offering thanks to him. Reverend Father Atansi enjoined elected public officials to use the nation's resources to alleviate the sufferings of the people in order to arrest criminality and insurgency in parts of the country.
The homily today is to teach the people to love the nation, love your neighbor, and work as a united front, because united we stand.
In his remarks, Dr. Okafor explained that he embarked on the Thanksgiving Mass to appreciate God, who made it possible for him to emerge as the majority leader of the 7th Anambra State House of Assembly, and for granting him victory in Awka South 1 State constituency election. Dr. Okafor assured the people of Awka South 1 constituency that he would record more accomplishments than he did in the 6th Assembly.
A lot I've learned from what I'll call mistakes, because we'll make mistakes, and I am more energized, and I know the system better for me to do a lot more for my constituency, and by extension, extrapolation, the people of Anambra State, because the laws that I will sponsor in the Anambra State House of Assembly, I'm talking about private member bill. Those will be laws that will help the state, not just my constituency.
It's a thing of joy that we both were successful at the last national election, and not only that Nnamdi emerged as one of the principal officers of the House, as the majority leader, and that is why we're here today, to celebrate with him, to thank God for the life he's given us, for making us healthy, strong, and able to be living.
The clerk, State House of Assembly, Mr. Pius Udo, urged the 7th Anambra State House of Assembly to work harder to surpass the achievements of the 6th Assembly in order to be a good reference point. In their separate speeches, the member representing Idemili North constituency, Honorable Ifeanyi Chiekwu, the Transition Committee Chairman, Awka North Local Government Area, Mr. Ferdinand Onwuje, described the choice of Dr. Okafor as the majority leader as an act of God. Later, Dr. Okafor held a warm reception for his constituents, colleagues, friends, and well-wishers, while dance by the celebrant and his wife enlivened the occasion. In Awka, Chukwuemeka Modelem, ABS News.
Some prominent citizens of the state have commended the All Progressives Grand Alliance ABGA for selecting qualified individuals to represent various federal constituencies at the National Assembly. They gave the commendation while speaking to the ABS in Abuja. We have details.
The national president of Anambra State Association of Town Unions, Chief Alex Onukwe, said that he is happy that democracy is working in Nigeria with the new transition from the 8th to 9th National Assembly. He expressed the hope that there will be vibrant and quality representation.
I feel excited because, democracy is working in Nigeria. My expectations are that we are going to have vibrant and qualitative representation in Chedo Obidigwe.
Speaking on the development and ABGA stalwart in Onitsha, Mr. Chejina Obieze said that he is confident that the elected representatives will work hard to better the lives of the Anambra. Mr. Obieze, who expressed optimism that they will not be found wanting, expressed confidence that Chief Chinedu Obidigwe, representing Anambra East and West Federal Constituency, will make the interest of people of the area his priority.
This is a business of representing your people, making sure that what belongs to the people get to them, grassroots politics. And the young guy is doing it. He knows it very, very well.
On his part, Mr. Cosmos Agabo noted that Anambra have always been blessed with good representatives both at the state and national level, calling on the people to give them maximum support.
Chinedu is a very intelligent man, and no doubt if Chinedu is going to make impact, especially in this very position that God has bestowed him with. I pray that the good Lord will be with him.
The need for Christians to rededicate themselves to the service of God and humanity has been stressed. In a sermon during the Diocese in the Niger Synod Thanksgiving service at Ascension Church, Odumele, Otobosi, Most Reverend Emmanuel Ebunu, Archbishop, Province of Lokoja, charged Christians to reassess their relationship with God and their neighbors to find out whether they are still on the right track. Ogochikoran was there and now reports.
Ebunu reminded them that it takes perseverance and discipline to finish the race of life well. He cautioned Christians against cutting corners and advised them to live beyond group identity.
Here we're at crossroads. We're hearing different things. Some are talking about angels, some are talking about Melchizedek, some are talking about the old rituals. Shouldn't we go back to what we left? Or should we turn right? Or should we turn left? And Hebrews says, continue.
Addressing thousands of the congregation who filled the Ascension Anglican Church, the Bishop on the Niger, Right Reverend Dr. Owen Nwokolo, appreciated the contributions made by the Anglican faithful and friends of the diocese who came from far and near. He urged them to carry the good news of Jesus Christ to their parishes. Venerable John Nkwemezie, Clerical Synod Secretary, Diocese on the Niger, in an interview with the ABS, said that God performed beyond their expectations in 2019 Synod and charged delegates to take the decision reached at the Synod to the grassroots. Chief Imam Onago, who represented Obosi Traditional Council, disclosed that the Synod was hosted 2 years ago at St. Andrew's Obosi, noting that this year's return to Ascension Anglican Church, Odumo Obosi, is a clear testimony of peace and enabling environment in Obosi.
My message is that all of them that are here are related to the laudable project.
Blessing of Odume community by Bishop Nwokolo, cutting of synod cake, and recitation of history of Christianity by the Ascension Archdeaconry Joint Choir featured during the service. Ogochukwu Orano for ABS News.
Still to come in the news, NYSC to employ outstanding corps members who were ad hoc staff in the last general elections. Now the foreign U.S. mayor apologizes after police threatening to shoot black family. The news returns in a moment. Please join us again.
ABS, Heartbeats of the East.
Well, glad to have you back. Moving on to our national stories now. The chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, has revealed that the commission would be employing members of the National Youth Service Corps who were outstanding during the last general elections. He said this during the European Union for Democracy in Nigeria donation program at the NYSC Orientation Camp, Abuja. Professor Yakubu disclosed this through the verified Twitter handle of INEC. The National Agricultural Seeds Council of Nigeria has disclosed that any seed dealer that defaults in the standard of seeds or seedlings in the country would pay 3 million as fine. The Director General of the Council, Dr. Phillips Olusegun, disclosed this yesterday at the Seeds Market Sensitization Roadshow in Asaba. The DG, represented by the Director Seeds Inspectorate Department of the Council, Mr. Abo Adebayo, noted that seed defaulters would pay 3 million fine after President Muhammadu Buhari might have signed the Council's seed bill, which is currently on his table. He said that the exercise in Asaba tagged Seeds Market Sensitization was to sensitize farmers on fake seeds or seedlings, especially oil palm seedlings that adversely affect the Nigeria oil palm industry. He noted that the Council was saddled with the responsibility of regulating seeds and seedlings in Nigeria to ensure and eliminate adulterated seeds. The Council can also prosecute and sanction seed suppliers in the industry. And moving on to the foreign scene, the mayor of the U.S. city of Phoenix has apologized after a video allegedly showing police threatening to shoot a black family went viral. Officers were responding to an alleged shoplifting incident last month when the video was recorded. Police officers can be seen shouting at the family to get out of their vehicle before threatening them. The parents, they say, did not realize their 4-year-old had taken a $1 Barbie doll from a store. Mayor Kate Gallego said the officers' actions were completely inappropriate and clearly unprofessional. She said that the city was speeding up the implementation of body-worn cameras. A community meeting about the incident will also be held on today. On sports news, Francesco Totti says leaving Roma after 30 years is like dying after he resigned from his role as a director at the Serie A club. The World Cup winner 42 spent his entire professional career at Roma and retired from playing in July 2017. His relationship with President James Pallotta reportedly deteriorated, but last week the American said he offered Totti the role of technical director. Roma finished 6th last season and missed out the Champions League place. Totti criticized the club's American ownership and the influence of former director and now club consultant Franco Baldini. Totti's exit follows former teammate Daniel De Rossi, 35, who left the club at the end of last season after 18 years. Totti joined Roma's youth academy in 1989, making a senior debut in 1993 as a 16-year-old. He went on to score 307 goals in 785 games, winning Serie A in 2001 and the Coppa Italia twice. He also won 58 caps for Italy. And that's it on the news this morning. Remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS from any part of the world by liking our Facebook page at ABS Radio Television. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/ABS Radio TV Online. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at ABS Radio TV. You can also log on to our website, www.absradiotv.com. And just before we go this morning, a quick look at our major stories. Experts are calling for urgent economic roadmap to address Nigeria's mono-economy base. And more stakeholders are demanding for quality representation from members of 9th National Assembly and 7th State Assembly. NYSC is to employ outstanding corps members who were ad hoc staff in the last general elections. And on the foreign scene, we brought to you that the U.S. mayor has apologized after police threatened to shoot black family. And that's the size of our package this morning. Many thanks for joining the bulletin. I'm Ebere Ugonna. Good morning, Anambra. Continue shortly. Please stay with us.